balance in our life. Sometimes it's not easy to attain balance, but if you don't have balance, you obviously fall. And when we don't have balance, other things suffer. For instance, while I'm talking to you, it's hard to concentrate while I balance this and talk to you. If I give my attention to one of the things, then the other ones suffer. For instance, if I focus on I can't talk. But if I look at you and it goes out of balance. Just like our bodies, we have to have balance. And if something in our body goes out of balance, then other things suffer. The body's not divided. When one thing is wrong, the whole system doesn't work. The risks associated with diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is when the pancreas does not produce insulin. Type 2 diabetes, which I have, was diagnosed 7 years ago with, when the pancreas produces too little insulin, or the body rejects the insulin that it does produce. And how is this relevant? I have some statistics for you today. 23.6 million children and adults in the United States have diabetes. Diagnosed, the amount of people that are diagnosed with diabetes is 17.9. Undiagnosed is 5.7 million people undiagnosed. And 57 million are pre-diabetes. In other words, they're at risk for getting diabetes. And 1.6 million new cases of diabetes are diagnosed every year in people age 20 and over. And that's just in the United States. So, adults age 20 and up, 23.5 million people, or 10.7% of all the people in this age group in the United States have diabetes. 10% of the country has diabetes. And what happens with diabetes is when it doesn't produce the insulin necessary to make the glucose, or the sugar that you ingest, energy for the body. And sugar is what the body uses for energy. And so the insulin takes the sugar from the blood and it makes energy. When you have diabetes, you get an abundance of sugar, and the body does not know how to respond to that. So one of the things, and we're going to be looking at 3 different organs that are affected by diabetes, and there's more than this, but these are the 3 that I'm focusing on today. Number 1 is blood vessels. What happens is the sugar actually will change the structure of your blood vessels and will alter their function. This is a big organ. Your blood vessels is a big organ in your body, and when this isn't functioning right, especially in diabetics, it affects the legs. The complications from that are coronary artery disease and blood clots, or emboli, open sores which don't heal. And you see, I have one right here. I got that over a week ago, and it's going to be there for a couple months. And tissue death, gangrene. I have had 2 surgeries for an abscess that just couldn't heal. The key to prevention of these diseases that I just listed is maintaining a blood sugar level close to as normal as possible, and it significantly reduces the risks. The key to prevention for your blood vessels is walking. Exercise, walking. Just keep walking. And then there's a shot of me walking. Exercise unlocks the door to healthy blood vessels. The next organ I want to talk about is the eyes. The eyes are affected by blood sugar if it's out of control. If you control your blood sugar, then that is what is the goal. Proliferative retinopathy. Diabetic eye disease starts when the blood vessels in the back of the eye, the retina, balloon out into pouches. This stage is called non-proliferative retinopathy. Generally does not affect the vision, but it can progress to more serious form called proliferative retinopathy. This occurs when damaged blood vessels close off and new, weaker vessels take their place. These new vessels can leak blood, which blocks the vision and can cause scar tissue to grow and distort the retina. Proactive care. The American Diabetes Association, which I use their website for a lot of this, recommends a yearly screening. United Kingdom Prospective Diabetes Trial. This is a trial that was a test that's been going on for more than 10 years, and they took control groups and they had them rigorously maintain their sugar, and they had others with normal treatments, and they had others that didn't treat much at all. This study followed 5,100 type 2 diabetics. Type 2 is the type that produces little or the body doesn't, a little insulin or the body doesn't accept the insulin due produce, for an average of 10 years, and they found that if you lower your blood glucose levels, you will significantly reduce the risks of all of these diseases: eye, nerve, kidney, heart disease. The study found that by maintaining a lower blood sugar in a normal kind of level, they could reduce their risk of eye disease by 25%. And that's significant. And the last organ I want to talk about is the kidneys. Kidney disease starts when the vessels in the kidney become leaky. Eventually the vessels will collapse and place more pressure on the other blood vessels, and under this increased load, the remaining blood vessels cannot cope and the kidney may fail. Prevention of kidney disease. The American Diabetes Association recommends screening for protein in the urine once every year, or at the time of diagnosis, starting at the time of diagnosis, or 5 years for type 1 diabetes. The study found that those who maintained tight control of their blood sugar, once again, had 25% lower risk of developing kidney disease. So I've talked to you about 3 systems today: blood vessels, eyes, and kidneys. And it's very important that we find that balance in so many things. But in the body, when the body is out of balance, an artificial balance has to be found. And there's medicines and there's all kinds of things that you can use if you have diabetes: blood sugar, or diet control, exercise. All these things lead to a better balance. And when it comes to diabetes, that's one balancing act worth performing.